Hello, and thanks for tuning into this video. My name is Zach, and I'm a lifelong reader and lover of all things science fiction, fantasy, comics, manga, personal development, and everything in between. And today, I'm sharing my thoughts and review as sort of a retro review, as I just finished reading the first arc of the Naruto manga. So this manga I'd never actually read before. I had seen the anime for Naruto way back in the day in college. I watched the first half where I am right now in the manga, which is up to the time skip. I saw that animated. I never watched the second arc, Shippuden, so I'm excited to actually read that. But I read just up to volumes 1 through 27 of the manga. So this is the whole first arc where everyone's kids, we're learning about the characters. And I'm reading this now kind of with the added perspective of I watched it for the first time back in college. I'm now over 40 with a family, with a kid. And yeah, that whole extra perspective, and it's still great. So that's the great thing about this and why it's one of the big three mangas for Shonen Jump. Naruto just really is such a good story. It's a classic for a reason. And this whole first arc, the whole first volumes of the series is just so good. There's so many things that happen and so many memorable characters get their start here. We've got a lot of great arcs. So that all said, I read the colored manga version, which is available online, and it was great seeing it in color because I had watched it as the anime first, so I kind of looked and sought out the colored version as opposed to reading the classic black and white, original style, just because I had a picture in my head of what the characters looked like. I guess, wanted to see it that way on the print page. But yeah, so the manga itself, great. Going through kind of the arcs and the main stories, I guess you have your first introduction of the characters. You learn about Naruto in the village. Then you have the Land of Waves arc, where they fight Zabuza for the first time, who's like the first main villain that we see, the characters. But going through after that is kind of, I guess, everyone's all-time favorite. I see this discussed a lot, which is the chunin exams arc. This was definitely one of the most hype moments watching the anime back in the day in college, and even reading it. The action and pacing of the chunin exams is just top notch. All those major battles. My first character is Rock Lee. Everyone loves Rock Lee, and I think seeing his introduction and seeing his battles with that added perspective as an adult, you just see how much work he's putting in and the perseverance of overcoming, the lack of ninjutsu, all with just taijutsu. He's such a great character, and maybe even more so with that experience of reading this as an adult. So I really felt an affinity for Rock Lee. I loved him back then too. I mean, you see the hard work and how he overcomes, so many obstacles, and not just here in the tuning exams, but later, all the trials when he loses his powers and he kind of gains them back after Tsunade heals him. But yeah, so many great moments with Rock Lee. I loved his character, especially during the chunin exams. And yeah, learning about Gaara for the first time, you're kind of given that glimpse into the extra world. At this point, again, if you knew nothing about Naruto, you start seeing the specs of the nine-tailed fox, and you don't really know what's happening at this point, but you meet Gaara, and he's got something in him too, so you start building that connection of their Naruto and Gaara relationship because they're both the hosts of the tailed beast. So really great seeing Gaara. He's such a menace at the beginning, and then of course it turns out that they're all villages, and later on in this first half they become friends, and that bond with Naruto and Gaara is just great. And it really starts developing here during the chunin exams and the battles. So those first battles, you just see so much. You got the Hyuga clan, all that, the Hinata and Neji. It's, again, looking in retrospect, seeing these early, scenes with Hinata, how she, kind of fawns over Naruto, and then Naruto is totally oblivious, and he's still, at this point in the series, hung up on Sakura. So, that dynamic, while Sakura is obsessed with Sasuke. So that whole like kind of love triangle and obliviousness of Naruto as a character. He's so innocent early in the series before he develops a little more into kind of the character he grows into, but he has that childlike wonder and innocence, full on display here during the chunin exams. Then, as the story progresses after the chunin exams, we get, some more character development as they, we look for Tsunade and we start building the backstory of Kabuto and the whole, invasion of Orochimaru. So that's, building that, kind of mystery and larger plot as it kind of expands from just in Konoha, but we start seeing the impact of the larger plot threads that are being woven in here with Orochimaru and Sasuke and his backstory. But of course, the next best arc after the chunin exams, and there's the little bit of training arcs they go on, but building that suspense with Orochimaru and here in the attack on Konoha, that was a great battle. I remember being animated and just kind of blown away at the whole. You've got Jiraiya coming in with, you start learning about summonings and the Gamabunta, the giant toad, all this, really cool expansion of what we saw in the chunin exams of just kind of basic ninjutsu, and we kind of see the grander scale of what the ninja are capable of in this world that we're living in the Naruto series. So yeah, that whole attack on Konoha was just a great thing as it it blossomed straight out of the chunin exam. The exams suddenly end with the attack, and then we're kind of dealing with the after effects and the battle and the death of the Hokage, and then we get to the Sasuke retrieval arc again as it just keeps building and building, and the layers of the story just kind of keep compounding on each other as the world slowly gets more and more complex of what's going on kind of behind the scenes from that lurking evil, which is of course Orochimaru and his plans for Sasuke and the curse mark. So the Sasuke retrieval arc was also really hype, definitely great arc with tons of memorable battles as the team goes and forms of these lowly early like kids, and they have to go off and retrieve Sasuke. And of course all the matchups, again, maybe this is also in hindsight, of course they're kind of perfect for who they fight. It's kind of always that case with shonen manga or anime that this type of character, his perfect match is that kind of character, and of course they're the ones battling. It's never like a one-sided fight. It's always the hero, on the team fighting his exact polar opposite or very similar style, like maybe like My Hero Academia, like the brawlers always fight, or the psychic types always fight. It's always a conveniently like even matchup, which of course if it wasn't, there'd be no plot. But it's a little bit on display here of the Sasuke retrieval, how the battles are really conveniently evenly matched. It's not totally one-sided, so it does make the suspense in the reading good because there's an equal chance of either side could win because it's such an even matchup during the Sasuke retrieval arc. As of course they're going to unlock the second stage with their curse powers, and then the Konoha ninja is going to unlock his second stage and his secret technique to kind of power up as well. So again in 2025 you see a little bit of these tropes, and they've always been there. That power scaling issue is a classic of shonen manga, but it was still great reading. And as everything comes to a head, of course, when all the other straggler battles are fought to a stalemate, that we get just to the final battle of Naruto versus Sasuke, and it's that sets the stage for those classic characters that you probably know about now, but the ideals of Naruto and his bonds, and Sasuke and his hatred and wanting revenge, that clash of kind of ideals of the two characters, the two main character foils, which is a classic we see in, as I just mentioned, series like My Hero Academia. You have the ambitious, idealistic one character like a Naruto or Deku, and then you have the foil who's the little more cool, collected type who's better in every way, but our underdog hero is struggling to keep up. And the interesting thing here is, and what makes it a really complex character, is how Sasuke recognizes that Naruto is catching up and he's putting in the work and he's come so much that Sasuke's character, who is the kind of the genius fighter, that he can't keep relying on his genius forever, that he has to start putting in the hard work too. And you really see that in Sasuke's character growth of how he's realizing that he still needs to work hard, even though he is the genius from the Uchiha clan, that Naruto is catching up and surpasses him at this point. And that's why he kind of gives into that curse mark power, that he has any chance of getting revenge against Itachi and his brother, that he's going to have to get better somehow. And of course, he takes that shortcut with the curse mark and he starts seeking out Orochimaru because he can't keep up with Naruto, who's of course has his own hidden, talent, which is of course the nine-tailed fox in him, not like Sasuke's, genetic, the Sharingan eye. But that whole interplay of the characters and how they kind of are rivals, feeding off each other and spurring each other on was really great, and one of the classics, and why everyone likes Naruto and likes especially the first arc up to the time skip. So that was, in a quick speed run, what happened in the first arc and why it's still so good today. The characters just really hit hard. Everyone gets ample development, and we get flashbacks, especially of Naruto and Sasuke, but we also see the flashbacks of our favorite characters that we learn on the way, like Tsunade and Jiraiya, the three great ninjas, the legendary ninjas, that we see their backstories. And I really like that part of the Tsunade arc, that maybe it hits harder being older, but we see kind of her struggles to accept the mantle before she gives in to Orochimaru, that she really contemplates getting kind of revenge and slipping into her vices to bring back her loved ones, as opposed to fulfilling her role to be the fifth Hokage. And I love that backstory of before Tsunade joins the village and kind of takes the righteous path, as of course she does eventually. But it's that character building, and especially also character building with Sasuke and Itachi. We see their dynamic growing up in that household where the expectations are placed on them and they grow into who they are because of the ideals placed on them as clan holders. We saw a little bit of that earlier with the Hyuga clan, so we saw glimpses of that kind of same dynamic with Hinata and Neji, that they're the Hyuga clan, so they have to live up to who they are, the Hyuga clan. And that kind of same dynamic is shown with the Uchiha clan, that they're the Uchihas, they're the guardians, the police of the village, so they have to live to those ideals and live up to the Sharingan and the inborn powers. But Itachi, of course, way falls into the dark side, and at this point we're given glimpses of what he kind of succumbed to, because he wants to, he had to kill his favorite person in order to awaken the Sharingan, the Magenkyo Sharingan. So we're given glimpses of that, and of course that plays a bit into the next arc that's coming, and I've started reading that as of recording this. I'm on the second volume as we learn more about the Akatsuki and the whole stealing the tailed beast. So I'm in that right now, and that's all new to me, so I'm very excited to start reading the second half of Naruto after the time skip. And that's all new, but I'll talk about that later. But this is about the first half, and the other reflections on the first half of Naruto as an older person who's reading this 20 years later after it was written. It came out in 99 to 2014. It's 2025 now, so it's been around forever. And if you think the first volume came out in 99 and we're in 25, so 25-year anniversary of Naruto happened, I guess, last year or 2 years ago, and it's still so good. And especially if you grew up on it and you're reading it now, I encourage you to reread it, because there are a lot of lessons here about perseverance and bonds between friends and family. And those themes are kind of timeless, and that's what makes Naruto timeless. That it's not just a story for kids about ninjas fighting and the memes of running with your arms back. Because yes, it's a shonen series, of course focused on battles and fighting and gaining new powers, but the great part of the storytelling is that there are weaved in with these complex themes of friendship, community through the villages, the bonds that form of people that aren't your family. So it's really telling a lesson, through Naruto, who doesn't have a family, that the family are the people kind of that take care of you. So those are themes for any point in your life, whether it's a personal development book of finding family and finding like a place in society, its family is who you make it. That's, like I think one of the central themes of Naruto, that you don't have to be born into your family like the Sasukes, who are born into this power structure, that you can create your own bonds and create your own family. It can be through perseverance or career change, like myself, that if you stick to something, you think of yourself as a Rock Lee, that you hold on to your ideals, you put in the work and persevere through the hard work, that's going to take hard work, that you can overcome and surpass like Rock Lee does or Mike Guy does. That even the geniuses who may seem like they have it all, but of course we learn that how kind of messed up sometimes being born into privilege can be for the Hyugas or the Uchihas, and all the pressure that comes with that even though they're born with a silver spoon in their mouth as the elites of the ninja village, that they go through their own troubles. And Naruto can teach you to maybe be more empathetic towards them. And then if you take the stance of our Naruto or Rock Lee, you can put in the work, you can overcome your circumstance and become a better person through that hard work, being kind to others, and maybe like Naruto having a sense of childlike wonder at the world and not letting society, place restrictions on you, that you can do kind of whatever you want and that ever you feel is right, and following your heart. I guess that's a cheesy, shonen jump kind of manga theme of following your heart and being true to yourself. Full on display here in the first arc and up to the time skip of Naruto, so volumes 1 through 27 of the manga. And yeah, that's my thoughts as an older person reading this in 2025, 25 years later after it was published. Still hits hard, still so many lessons you can learn as a teenager or an adult. Any stage of life, Naruto is going to teach you something. It's going to show you something about people and family and bonds, which is the cheesy theme of Naruto is bonds, but it's so true. And the first arc was really great. I've started reading arc 2, which is the Shippuden anime after the time skip and in the Akatsuki. So yeah, really excited for that and looking forward to keep reading more of that as we uncover the additional people moving in the shadows that are planted the seeds here in this first arc, but now they're coming to the forefront, and the world of the ninja of Konoha are expanding from just the village to this larger looming threat, this existential threat that's threatening the whole ninja world. So really great series, really great story. Still highly, highly recommend it. 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. Naruto, the first arc, volumes 1 through 27. If you've never read it, check it out. If you've only watched the anime like myself, give the manga a shot. I think you'll really enjoy what it has to say, and the action, the art, the paneling. There's a reason why it's as popular as it is. So do check out Naruto, the first arc, volumes 1 through 27. Thanks for watching this, and you can always check out my other reviews and thoughts on actual written novels and audiobooks on the other playlists on the channel, or there's more manga reviews that I've read recently as I've started reviewing them. So have a great day, and thank you for watching.